You're listening to the Unreasonable Fridays Podcast Network.
Go ahead, stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of AddSpace. I'm your host, Aaron Rand Freeman, but with me, the actual host of AddSpace, the CEO, CFO, lead designer, head therapist, cat wrangler, social media manager, head engineer, and project manager, Elise Bacon.
You can remove the role of social media manager. We are no longer in need of social media management as there's no social media to manage. So we are going to be temporarily having a reduction of force in the marketing department due to the lack of social media.
I would still just kind of pay you to hang out and play video games for a while this sort of
No,
stuff,
that's a different title.
That's fair. I mean, this is fair. Then we're just gonna have to. I guess we're gonna have to reshape the workforce around whatever is going on with Twitter.
Well, I'm used to diving into the cesspools of the internet, so I can take that part over if that's really what you want.
And with us, our guest tonight, because there is a lot of tech news that needs to be unraveled, properly dissected, and explained. So we brought in a software engineer for the United States government. And that's all I can say. In fact, he can only be on the show for 13 minutes. Jarrett.
Much more than that, my consulting fees start getting a little bit ridiculous. I'm sorry.
That's fair. So we have Jarrett. And we cannot give his last name for mostly my safety. He'll be fine. I won't. So we're just gonna have to leave it at that. How are you, Jarrett?
I'm wonderful. It is just a pleasure and an honor to be here. I've been a longtime fan, first time caller, so I just appreciate being included.
This nigga act like he ain't in like every fucking goddamn Discord.
I'm in a Discord for a game I don't even play.
He's in a Discord for a game he doesn't even play.
Is he in the Final Fantasy Discord too?
Yeah, he's in the Final Fantasy Discord.
Let's go.
That's my favorite is how many folks that are in the Final Fantasy Discord that aren't that don't play the game, but they still chilling. I love it. And they're all good people.
Trying to actually play, but circumstances.
Listen, valid. But did you know that this game is free up to level 60? Free trial.
Hard no.
I have a week to try now.
No,
and that's a bargain. That is a bargain. You go through all the way up to level 60, and then you buy the expansion, and you only have to buy the most recent expansion that gives you all the other expansions that are paid for.
My backlog.
I've already bought that part.
Yeah.
And wait, you already own it?
I own it. I literally just can't get into my account.
Wait, what?
No, just during customer service hours, just call Square Enix. Like, call their support center. No, I'm dead serious. The Final Fantasy 14 support center, during their active hours, they will get this shit sorted out. It's not even weird. I don't know what the fuck it is with their goddamn system, but every time you're like, I have an account, I own the game, I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to try to play. I don't know why. It's everybody. Everybody has this problem. Whenever they're like, I'm going to go back to play, nothing works. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Yet no, just call their customer support. They will help you figure it out. It'll be like probably a really quick fix too. And then it'll be working. But you have to call them during like their business hours. You can't just be like, I'm going to send in this message when it's off hours and hope. No. You have to be aggressive about it. It's not even that bad, but like, and then it's done, and then you're fine, and you won't have any issues for years. I feel like
that has been our sponsored ad read for Final Fantasy customer service. Thank you.
I don't even know if it's an ad read because it's a fucking problem, but I don't know what it is, but literally everybody has this issue. It's some fucking thing. I had to do it with my account twice. My homie had to do it, and he's been playing the game longer than me. I don't understand. Shit just breaks sometimes, and then you have to call support, and you're like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Why do I have to do this?
And Jared's better than me. My PlayStation 5 has suggested I download it, and I've been hard pass. My backlog is biblical. Like
Wait,
the
you
great.
have a PS5 now.
I do, and
does.
I do, and the backlog is insane. The backlog got more insane. Like it was my indie game addiction was already a significant problem affecting my marriage and my relationship with my children. And then Erica was like, "Hey, they have PlayStation 5s. Let's go get one." When God of War Ragnarok came out, and
No, it's okay. It's okay because Final Fantasy 14 will be there, but I will get you before the next expansion.
oh man, my backlog is absolutely like primordial, like 100-foot tall giants roaming the countryside, shaping the planet, which we will live on for hundreds of thousands of years after.
Aaron, you're a backlog builder. It's fine. It's part of your identity. So you just keep building that backlog, and you can start on Final Fantasy 14.
I'm a
Just
game.
ignore it. Come join me. Come join me in the perpetual
You can play
treadmill
games
of
with me
games as
again.
service land.
If you can get me through, like we're at the point where the giants that are my backlog are so large that I'm always contemplating whether I even want to play Destiny at all. So like they're so huge that even the thing I play is now under attack just from the sheer might, presence, the enormity of my backlog, which is full of games that just intrigue me greatly. And so I mean, if you can get Final Fantasy through all of that, then more power to you.
I'm gonna make a raider out of you.
I mean, if you can even get me to download it, that would be a thing. Because PlayStation 5 has been like, hey man, you know it's free. Hey man, congratulations on the PlayStation. You know it's free.
See, this is a dangerous game that I'm playing staring at the precipice of Final Fantasy 14 because like I'm old school. I did RuneQuest when RuneQuest was just starting to go down, and then I played WoW from vanilla through Burning Crusade. And then I thought that was too much of a kid's game because I was an edgy high schooler. And I got into, I decided to get a job.
To be fair,
No.
if you were playing any other MMO before World of Warcraft, that makes sense. Because World of Warcraft specifically was like, we're gonna, in the beginning, was aimed at, you know, the casual folks who hadn't played an MMO or who didn't have time for grinding, etc. And with like less serious, less intense graphics. So like if the thing you liked was like grinding and then being a badass and doing the thing, WoW was not going to be it for you. It was going to be boring. I literally
but for real, it like hit me in like the perfect curve of like I have time for this and I have time, just the right amount of time for this, because like when I played RuneQuest, I was at home. I didn't have like super engaging work I was doing in school. This was like early high school for me. When I found WoW was like when I got into a school where I had to focus. So it's like my time adjusted perfectly with the game I had. But like what the culmination from WoW that I went to was when I decided to like embrace capitalism and get a job, and I played EVE Online for years.
Right.
I had spreadsheets. So many spreadsheets.
Right. Going to the less intense game was like, please, I need a game that respects my time. Although WoW no longer respects your time.
No. Like WoW stopped respecting your time at Mists of Pandaria. Like I went back to try to see if I could recapture the magic. And no, it didn't work. I then saw like recently that they relaunched old school RuneQuest. Whereas like literally advertised like this is RuneQuest as it first came out, but just with all the patches so it's stable. And I bless the people that actively have time for that. But I look at that and like that's a rabbit hole of death and defeat and poverty that I do not want to go down again.
Not poverty.
That is eating ramen until you have gout type of experiences if I go back to RuneQuest, and I like to say I'm better, but I don't think I'm better.
Right.
You're better than EVE Online, but you're not better than that. Well, EVE
Not
Online
much better
makes you
than EVE
money.
Online. It doesn't make you real money. It's fake Starship money. You can spend real money to get money in game, but it's fake Starship money.
Mm-hmm.
MMO people who stop playing it have big like retired assassin movie energy. Like it's just like the whole like first 40 minutes is just spent trying to convince this person who is now a chef to get back into it, to pick up the gun and take it back to the streets. And it's such a problem. I was never one that played MMOs at all. I played things like it, but not quite MMOs. And to see the indecision on the faces of people who played MMOs for real in the face of Final, when they had gotten out, they thought they were all the way out. And here comes Final Fantasy with its already built community, which is the biggest thing people have told me. Biggest problem with Final Fantasy is the fact that there's already a community there. Bacon has already created the install foundational user base for you to start playing, which is the worst bit. And they're trying to pull you back in.
The best.
It is the safest space. And the struggle on these MMO players' faces, and I'm sorry. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry for this. You didn't get on here for emotional stress. You came on here to help discuss tech news and to share a bit of time with us. So I just like to say I'd like to apologize.
But all I'm saying is that it's
Bacon.
the right amount of weeb. It's the right amount of MMO that you can go as hard or as not hard as you want. The MMO respects your time, and it's perfect for any grown up adult weeb. So I'm just out here trying to be helpful, trying to help find good entertainment that you can play on your own time.
Jarrett
You can just pop in and out.
Jared is a successful baker. He makes cupcakes. The kids love it. Multiple flavors. He sells them out of his food truck. He caters live events. Why would you want him to go back?
I even made short rib. I made short rib cupcake. No, not short rib cupcakes.
I mean, he makes short rib cupcakes.
No, if it was all savory,
it would be good.
Short rib cupcakes made out of like a cornbread.
Right. That would work.
Yeah. Like it basically be like a compact lunch that you take with you, bruh. Genius.
It reminds me of a cowboy pie where I made that last year, and now I want to make one. But I did want to go back because you did say like it's like being a retired assassin. A lot of people get retired assassins. You don't understand how real that is. When I played EVE Online seriously, I was a goddamn terrorist. Like I would lay nuclear traps for people so that they would come in and try to get like advanced loot out of like these areas that were basically lawless. And I would leave thermonuclear weapons just piled up so I could take them out and salvage all of the wrecks. So yeah, it's there's this meme that goes around in the anime community talking about like the type of person you are today and the type of person you used to be on the internet. And it's like this smiling nurse bending down, petting the head of a child, and you see this person walking up and looking at her from the distance, but he's holding a picture, and it's the nurse standing grim face in front of like a line of mass graves, and it's like I'm happy smiley person today, but I used to be a war criminal.
Right. And I think it's important that Bacon, as you continuously try to peddle this Final Fantasy, you understand the plight, the serious emotional conflict that the ex-MMO people are having to deal with. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying you have to think about them. Give it some thought. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying to stop doing it because this is your jam and you've built a fantastic community. But bringing in retired assassins is not.
In my defense, you're acting like I don't peddle every fucking game I play to the masses.
It's a little different with an MMO.
She got me to Harvestella. I'm not gonna lie, because I have downloaded that before I go home.
I am immensely great at convincing people to spend their money.
I understand, but Final Fantasy is a different animal. It's a living creature.
Right. It means I can advertise it all the time instead of like every couple times.
I'm just saying to think about the people, but
I'm just trying to bring joy. I just redecorated our FC house again for the season because I seasonally decorate the FC house. And I have created a Namazu nativity scene with my friend July. If you would like to Google Namazus, they're like these little catfish people. They kind of squeak when they walk.
How do you spell
And it is a perfect replica of a nativity scene. But Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, and the three wise men are all Namazu.
Are all fish people.
They're all Namazu.
That is sacrilegious. It's NAMAZU for anyone who is actively opening up their phone to Google. NAMAZU.
I'm just saying maybe the social media manager for the show should get on to posting this onto one of their social medias.
It's on Tumblr.
It's on Tumblr. Look, let's go.
Right. Social media managed. However, we do have a program. We do have things that we need Jared's specific viewpoint on. But I'm gonna let Bacon. Which one are we starting with? Which one are we starting with? So
Roll a die. Jesus.
I mean,
how many different topics do we have? Where are my dice? Oh my god, what self-respecting dork am I if I can't find my dice?
or they might have been rolled under something because you used them up. Jared's got some.
No, I moved them up top where I would see them faster, and I didn't.
My god.
How many topics do we have?
We have 5, but the most important one, the one that sticks out, I believe, is the issue with the AI art pilfering and general ethical issues. Is the reason why we were like we need to get an expert on there.
No. I can talk about AI. We need Jarrett for crypto and the other ones because I can't talk crypto. I don't know fuck about crypto.
Well, which bit here? Because what's the name of it? Sam Bankman?
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Sam Bankman-Fried, yes.
SBF.
we called him getting arrested. What?
Go ahead.
You hate what?
Go ahead. I hate everyone involved in crypto shortens their name down to 3-letter tokens so that they can tokenize their names like every cryptocurrency, which is also reduced down to 3-letter tokens. It is Yes.
That's what they're doing?
Yes. So Sam Bankman-Fried is SBF. I forget the Binance guy's name, but it's like ZTU or something that he reduces his name to. Everyone in crypto does it, and it is the most annoying shit. Like it is the most self-referential, self-aggrandizing bullshit I've ever heard. And sorry.
No, it's fine because I didn't understand what they were doing. I just thought it was like, oh, weird tech brotarian thing. Okay, they're trying to be the cool guy. I don't know what it means, but that's what fucking dorks.
They're all nerds. Like it's fake internet money. How much nerdier do you think this gets? Like we are scraping the line of algorithmic generated content off of like computer electronic devices in order to like associate loose fiat currency. It's yeah. Sorry, I hit the end of it because my frustration broke. Oh, and the gentleman whose name I was trying to remember is the founder of Binance. His name is Changpeng Zhao. And he is CZ, so he did not go for a 3-letter name. He just went to 2.
Makes more sense though.
Yeah. But I've seen it online as CPZ, and I hate them.
I can't.
I hate them.
Can't say I wouldn't. You could talk me into naming a currency after myself. You could. I would say no, but somebody could sit me down over lunch and make me do it.
I would love to do that. I think you'd find a very good buy-in from the furry community, because if we did reduce your name down to a currency, it would be ARF, and I'm pretty sure ARF coin would go over very well.
I think I'm gonna.
Sorry, the Venn diagram of people in tech and furries is almost a circle.
Not 100%, because there
I
is
said
the
almost.
I almost, yeah, because I know the violent furry left, and they're fun people.
No. This isn't okay. First off, this is not shade. I respect furries.
Oh, absolutely. Like
yeah.
that's a lot of craft and investment right there.
Second
and
off,
very fine art.
Second off, like almost all of tech are furries. I don't know how the fuck that worked out. One of my friends who's a furry said that they all went into tech so they could make the kind of money so that they could spend their money on art.
And art, yeah.
Fursuits and art. Listen, the art though. The art, the overall art is probably more than the fursuits, to be honest.
You're not wrong.
Like the commission money, like my artist friends are like, I need money, and I'm like, go and I say that I tell them, like, with all seriousness, go market yourself to furries. Do furry art if you need cash.
Yeah. In the recent because of the correlation of my various interests, I found myself pretty deep in the Black VTubing community, which is an interesting space. And the amount of money that flows around for art there.
Listen, I've been looking at the VTubing community because, like, so I've been being on T has been interesting. So being on testosterone has been super interesting. So but one of the things that was like, my face is changing and I'm not adjusting to that as well as I thought I was gonna be. And my skin texture, my skin, like the shape of my pores and how big they are changing and have been changing. And so it also, like, that also affects like how my face stuff goes. So I'm not handling that very well. So there are some days where I'm just like, I do not want to look at my face while streaming, but like I feel like something still needs to be there for like regardless of what people think, like having something there for like draws engagement, even if it's not a camera. Like, could be a cat camera, it could be like whatever. This is where, like, you know, the V2 models or the PNG 2 models like really come into play. But those fuckers are expensive. And if I could do art like I used to do, I would definitely be working to try and figure out how to like put one together, but I cannot. But I'm looking at these prices like, god damn.
So if you do want like a reasonable hookup with a person of color that'll do you right, hit me up. I have references.
I just need a little thing, but like I don't have the money for it.
I got you like under $100. You could like be good to go. Look, I'll show you their work.
Wait, is this like a specific friend discount? Because this sounds sus.
No, it's not. It's just their rate. Like, you may be looking at like some of the bigger people. Like, go look at people that are like a bit newer into it, but like still have really good art. I got you. I will recommend you, and I'll send you to some people.
I'm a little picky.
I know you're picky. I have options for you too.
Okay, give me them links.
I got you. I'll get it to you later because I have to go dig them up.
Okay,
I'm commissioning work from them too.
Right. Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, I'm like, and I had to sit there too, me like, do I want just like baking caricature, or do I want like my Lalafell for Final Fantasy 14? But then I'm like, I actually don't stream 14 that much anymore because it's super saturated and I don't do cool shit on Final Fantasy 14. Like, unless I'm doing like house decorating, but like most of the time I'm like, when I'm streaming it, I'm just doing raids or like nothing, like, or like PvP, but like I'm not involved enough in the PvP community.
That's the whole thing. Like, streaming like 80% is just vibes. So like, as long as you're
right.
Oh no, it's like it's not even like vibes content. Right.
Frustratedly looking at people on your team like, why are you dumb? Why are you dumb?
Why? What are you doing?
I mean,
I can't be. Listen. I can't be cussing out folks in PvP the way I do when I'm off camera.
so what about UNF coin?
I feel like
Sorry,
UNF
ADD
coin.
space.
UNF
What up?
coin would work.
Yeah.
UNF
coin. So I believe that we could set up the UNF exchange, and we would then work out a coin strategy where you have the UNF exchange, the ADD coin, the UNF coin itself, which is the reserve currency of everything, so that like as you do more exchanges on the larger exchange, we'll feed you UNF coins and you can use those for discounts. But what we're going to do is set up the Bacon Institute. So the Bacon Institute is now going to be dedicated on going around and investing in other up and coming podcasters. And the UNF exchange is going to be the #1 institute where we gather up people who are interested in having their money invested into the residuals of other podcasts. Don't worry about the finances of those podcasts. You'll be so protected away from like their core and their core assets that either way they go, you'll be fine to make money. But you'll just get those UNF coins so that you have discounts. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the money that's going into UNF coin and invest it into the Bacon Institute. Don't worry about it. We'll back it up 1 for 1. It'll be fine.
Okay, can the Bacon, because it is still related to crypto, can the Bacon Institute be BKN?
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 Absolutely.
It works. That's the annoying part.
It's even better. We might have to like fight with some people from Brooklyn about it, but I think we'll be okay.
They'll be alright.
But hi, this was an analogy for what Sam Bankman-Fried attempted to do.
It was perfect. It was perfect and doesn't sound like a scam in any way. Everything is fine because you said it was fine, making it fine. Thank you, Jared.
I really hate that at least in you know how like you say like something affects the sports team or the sports institution that you like and it affects you personally.
Right.
So FTX was one of the big title sponsors for my favorite F1 team.
Oh.
FTX was the title sponsor for Mercedes Petronas F1, who is the team that Lewis Hamilton drives for. And it's the team that I like rooting for the black guy. So, of course, I'm rooting for Mercedes. And it actively impacts their development plans over the next few years because FTX gave them a promise for $300 million over the next 5 years.
Ooh.
Ooh, buddy, no.
Like, on top of like all of like the shady stuff that was going on at FTX, like it's a common thing that happens with all of like these crypto marketplaces. It's sort of the same thing that like Uber Eats and DoorDash did when they came out. Like they flood the zone with all this advertising so they can try to capitalize on all of this interest or drum up all of this interest from people that don't know any better. Now, FTX just went on a wild spending spree because I think the Miami Dolphins stadium was the FTX stadium this year.
The Heat
Mercedes.
also played the Miami Heat also played an FTX arena or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot like the total size of like their advertising budget, but FTX just dumped so much money over the last over like the last year. I think it's like the last 8 months on trying to like just get their name out there. Not to mention, of course, their Super Bowl commercial, which has now become infamous with Larry David. Because like if you've not seen it, the Super Bowl commercial with them is basically Larry David being skeptical of all of these major advancements in history, and it comes to like someone explaining what FTX is to him, and he's like, I don't know, that doesn't seem right. And it has come back around in such a beautiful dish of irony. Like it couldn't have been made any better. Other than like a man trying to run away from an island that has run away to an island that has extradition to the United States. So
Because they share
That-
the
that's-
same currency.
oh god, that is still so dumb. Like I understand. Like, oh, I'm gonna leave the U.S. You have to know where you're running to. Like, it's just a level of inelegance and idiocy that can only be seen in League of Legends players.
That was so much shade out of nowhere for a whole group of people, and I'm gonna co-sign
Well,
that.
It's not like it's not
exactly.
deserved.
It. I think League of Legends is the perfect game because it's like that wonderful encapsulation of like just the right amount of toxicity and the right amount of like brain deadness to a simple strategy that encapsulates the crypto market.
This is really good shade.
It really is.
This is like premium shade.
I mean, you brought it in. You brought in League of Legends players. Isn't Riot trying to detach furiously from FTX simply off the back of SBF?
Look,
making
You
that
would.
becoming part of his mythos that he delivers meetings playing League of Legends. So now Riot,
I honestly I hadn't heard the Riot angle of it, but that is hilarious to me.
yes, they're
But,
trying to
yeah.
detach from him. They're trying to because just the association is now so toxic that they're just trying
Yeah.
to. They're trying. I think they're trying to. They think they were on the hook for like 5 years and a few million, like your F1 team, and they're just trying to cut the contract because first of all, they ain't got no fucking money, and second of all, we cannot be attached to this brand any longer. Please.
I was gonna say, like, aren't they backed by Tencent though? And then
They
I
are
was thinking
owned by Tencent.
Yeah, Tencent is God, getting into the larger world of finance. Tencent is likely going to be hiding a capital crisis in like the next few years because like there's all this row in the Chinese market because they're going through essentially what our version of the housing collapse of 2017, 2018. When did our economy melt down like for the 50th time in recent history?
I lost track.
Yeah,
it was.
but they're staring at the precipice of some interesting stuff, and like it gets into like this wider ethos of like what people are trying to do with crypto, like the whole, if you want to like put it up there, techno libertarian idea of cryptocurrency is to get away from like the use of like these core fiat currencies that can be manipulated by central banks and governments, but like it's the whole idea that like fiat currency doesn't have anything behind it. No, fiat currency has the threat of violence behind it. Crypto has nothing. Crypto is just nerds with computers saying, I have money. And a bunch of people that don't want to be what is it? Is the greater fool, the greater fool theory. A bunch of people that don't want to be seen as the last idiot jumping into the pool, trying to throw their money in after it and hoping to not be the last ones holding the bag when the whole thing goes up in flames. And because all these assets are loosely tied to the marketplace, like when the greater market demands for money and liquidity, like we're going through right now with interest rates ballooning up from the Fed, all that money that was being stored into crypto as like a speculative asset has to come out and shore up actual assets. Like luckily, like the whole idea of like market contagion where one marketplace can collapse and cause others to fall down seems to be pretty steadily contained inside of the crypto marketplace, knocking on wood. But yeah, money's weird and crypto's weirder.
That is the title of today's episode. Let me write that down. Please continue the show, Megan. I'm gonna go.
Putting it in the show notes.
I think that's my brain dump on like the crypto marketplace right now. It sucks. I say this as someone that has dabbled in it from both like the speculative investment side of it, where like I was like, I got $10, let me like see what it does. And I played around with like crypto mining at like different periods of time when like, hey, cryptocurrency is this new cool thing, and if you have a computer, you can just mine some Bitcoin. I did that in like high school or college. I don't remember years anymore. It's all a flat circle.
Oh wow.
And then like more recently, like I had a computer with like a half decent GPU when like the prices were high and electricity was cheap. So I was like, all right, let's see what I can do. And I used it to heat my room one winter. I don't know. Like, do we want to go anywhere else about like this? Because like I can go deeper, but it just gets murkier and like more full of scams the further down you go.
It seems to
I
be
don't
the
know, I think
general theme of it is that, and it's always hard because the depth of the scam is always riveting. It's why it's become like a tentpole of the show, is how much of a scam crypto is and continues to be in such a very clear way. So having different people now kind of elaborate is a personal favorite of mine. And I just have to resist the urge to be like, no, Jared, tell us more. Explain the scam.
All right.
No.
I'll leave it. I'll leave this like one. I'll leave it at like this a little bit right here. Like
All right.
there's like an interesting, honestly, a philosophical view that was coming out of like the tech libertarians of it's like the it's some sort of like, it's basically ethical consumption but doing it the long way. They're basically like, hey, I'm going to do everything I possibly can right now to make as much money as possible, so I can then give that money to efforts to extend and revitalize humanity so that we can live for as long as possible. Damn whatever happens right now. And Sam Bankman-Fried was kind of the face of this for like a hot second. And like he was still on the front of like a bunch of websites about donating to all of these like ecological causes and stuff like that. And it came out in like the interviews that he did after the fact. So the other thing that Sam Bankman-Fried did, because I'm going to refuse from now on to call this man SBF. I swear to the pit of my tiny soul. But he basically was he was a vocal proponent for legislation to regulate the crypto market. It actually set him aside from a bunch of people. A lot of the things that he was actually doing, he was advocating, saying, hey, there should really be some rules about doing this shit. And it's to the point where like, yes, he was doing novel illegal things, but it's all just wire fraud. Like I'm kind of gonna use this to segue to another point, because like it's to get to something that Bacon said earlier in the pre-show. It's so bad you're just breaking laws that we already have. You're not doing anything advanced. You're just committing wire fraud. He said, hey, we should really put some guardrails on this, driving way outside the guardrails and jumping off the side of the cliff.
right. I'm just like, but because I've noticed that like some folks are like, well, cryptos are new technology. We don't know how to like prosecute or do any of this legal stuff. And I'm looking at some of it and I'm like, no, those laws apply.
Yeah, like it's that headache of like any sort of law. Like the legislation and the legal framework exists to take care of this. It's the enforcement that's always behind. Like you have the laws to understand like what wire fraud is, what a Ponzi scheme is. But what you're missing is having someone at the criminally underfunded and understaffed institution to then understand how to go in and provide oversight on this sort of institution. Like the type of
I was about to say, yeah,
yeah.
but when you're funneling money out of one company, like it's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy. I'm saying it like it's hard. Like in this case, it was very easy to look at like the ledger line on this company is
I was like,
obviously
this is just embezzlement.
yes, it is. It's just straight embezzlement. Like in some of the grander cases that have come up, yes, enforcement of like crypto like it's sort of like financial regulation would take a new specialized enforcement. But like if you just do basic accounting, you would have caught this one.
Right? I was just like, wait a second. I'm like, you're not even doing like fancy new illegal shit or dubiously legal shit. You're just doing bad old school stuff, like not claiming your taxes.
Yeah, just with like high end algorithmic trading. That's all it happened. Like it's essentially what is it? I'm getting into the weeds, but like it's part of like what happened during like the mortgage crisis, where basically the bank's biggest lender turned out to be itself, and when it had to call the loan on itself, it was a problem. It's like, where did all this money go?
There's so many moving parts for what amounts to basic crime. And it always makes me laugh, and I'm too amused by it. So I'm going to grab the program by the shirt collar and push it forward down the stairs, because I'm obviously having too much fun hearing all the nuance about basic embezzlement with a lot of frosting and sugar. And
what's happening.
And I'm too amused. I'm tickled by it. I feel kind of bad because there were a lot of people like it's so much of a scam that I wish it wasn't, because
all right, do you want to not feel bad? Like I can explain to you why you should absolutely not feel bad on this one.
Okay, go.
So FTX itself is not a common exchange. It's not a place where people like keep. Yes, they were pushing for people like, you should just deposit your check into FTX and like invest that money there. Oh, their advertising right before that shit hit the fucking fan was insane, and I forget how much I can swear on this.
Oh yeah, be free.
You
Be
can
free.
swear.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm here.
Oh, beautiful. But like they're encouraging people to deposit their checks, but FTX is not that type of exchange. Sam was like really pushing for it to be like the super app sort of exchange idea, but that's not what it is. FTX was a derivatives investment exchange. That's not even an exchange where you're investing your money in the coin. That's an exchange where you're betting on how much the value of the coin is going to fluctuate. This isn't people's livelihood. Yes, people
like
lost millions of dollars. No, this is even beyond stock exchanges. So like, we're stock exchanges, like you're investing in like, I'm putting money on an asset. No, I'm gambling. No. This is wild high collar gambling.
You're just betting on if it's going up or down.
Yes, that is what a derivative is.
Oh.
Yeah, don't feel bad for these people. like the type of people that are investing and lost money in FTX and like lost a lot of money. It's not like, I'm going to go hungry because the FTX. There may be like 2 dudes like that, maybe 2. Everyone else is, I won't be able to put a new set of tires on my Ferrari this year.
I mean,
I feel sorry for that Ferrari that won't be driven, but I don't feel sorry for the person that lost their money.
It isn't the people. It's just I'm a big proponent of options working and being available, and having a new option just be a whole ass scam, like on its face, it's just disappointing. So I'm just like, oh, it would be if we could be a little better, things would be a little better. And so,
all right,
Yeah, I
To
think this
get,
is more of the overall you know how with every scam there's like people who like fall for it, you know, so like I'm gonna I don't mean it like that. I mean
We got these marks right here.
le-
These fucks, these dumb fucks right here, right?
no, fuck you. That's not what I mean.
That's just, I'm sorry. That is how I
Okay,
understand. but
okay.
that
For
is how
example,
it
like that,
sounded.
like a lot of MLMs, like
yeah,
you have, and some of them aren't even as horrible esque as the others. Like you have like the Avon ladies,
Right.
and I went Avon because all your aunties, all of your aunties were with Avon or Mary Kay. It was one of the two.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at the Avon. I'm laughing because I just like hit the idea that Twitch is nothing but a giant MLM.
Yes,
But we'll
it
return to
is.
that at a later point.
It is 100%. They're going further down it. The only thing that makes it better is that you get direct donation money from people, like not the like. I
But
mean, not
bacon.
outside of
But
Twitch.
bacon. That's just your downstream, though.
Yes. Yes. That's the point.
Go on.
Work for the downstream. But anyway, so like there's you have like all the MLMs, etc. Like there's that one leggings company I can't remember the name of that really fucked over a lot of people. But you have like a lot of people who are like looking for additional income to try and just make things
LuLaRoe?
easier. A little bit easier.
Was it called
Yes.
LuLaRoe? Yes.
Yes, LuLaRoe. LuLaRoe was hot for so long, and I was like watching that shit, and I was like, "You scare me."
Is Flat Tummy Tea still around? I don't know about that one.
Yes, Flat Tummy Tea is still around. Not doing as good because I think there was like a food poisoning incident.
I thought that the food poisoning was the point.
So you got these
I
marks.
think the FDA had to get involved.
So you got these marks, right? You got these fucking idiots.
Anyway, but yeah, so there are people who are just trying to make extra money who just trying out a thing, and they're the ones who are like victims of the scheme. And then of course you have like the other scams, which are like where the old school ones where you've got the African prince. Like they are specifically designed to target all of the people that they are meant to target. A lot of the MLMs specifically are meant to target like housewives or like single middle-aged women of specific like backgrounds and whatnot all. And cryptocurrency just looks like another one that's aimed at like people who want to make money through tech. Like there's all sorts of get rich quick schemes, and everybody falls for like one of them at some point in their life.
I mean, we'd like to get rich quick.
Because we all want to fucking get rich quick. And so I think it's
way out of the capitalist hellscape. But
we
sadly,
all want a way out of the capitalist hellscape, and so like this is kind of like there are people who got caught up in that because it was such a loud and it was such a backed by people who we are told to trust. Like we're specifically told to trust people in like STEM. Like that this is a way to make money and get out of the capitalistic hellscape.
And I kind of hate that it has become that, because like leaning into drinking the Kool-Aid for crypto for a second, like to actually use crypto the way it is envisioned to be used is fucking hard. It is not something that like an average person is going to get into, and like and part of that is by these wild fluctuations and booms in the price of it. Like for crypto to be what they want it to be, it needs to be boring. Like, it should be looking at like the price fluctuation on any cryptocurrency versus another, should be looking at like the change in the dollar against the yen. Like that is really what it needs to get to. Like the
But
point that we're
but for
at right
that, you
now,
need
where it's a
regulation.
sort of, yeah. Like the whole idea of it was supposed to be like there's only ever going to be like a fixed amount of that asset, but in a marketplace that allows people to dump unlimited money against that asset, then yeah, like there are some currencies that are meant to, like, the point where it was understood that like the crypto marketplace was insane, where when stuff like when there's the Dogecoin explosion of the early 2021, what like Dogecoin created to be an actual meme about how pointless creating currency was exploding in value, and people were saying Dogecoin to $1, was when crypto like went fully and entirely off the rails. Like it's broken. A lot of the heat needs to be taken out of the system. Like it's not in the pie in the sky view of
I
what
feel like
most
the
cryptocurrencies
Square
can be. It's
guy
not meant to be a speculative asset.
doesn't the person who owns Square the one who owns Bitcoin right now? I think he's still actively trying.
There are a lot of people that are like really trying to like get like to legitimate a lot of stuff. And oh god, because of the war in Ukraine, there are other efforts of central banks to establish like their own sort of index cryptocurrencies where they're pegged against the value of their net currency, so that there's like a rapid means of exchange of value. Because like for all the ills, crypto does like solve a number of headaches of the existing way we handle money in the world, just because like the way we handle money even on networks is essentially being treated like you're making shipments of cash from one bank to another, whereas crypto kind of alleviates a lot of that, and a lot of that's also alleviated because there's no red tape, and a lot of that international money exchange stuff is like kind of swept under the rug. But that's neither here nor there. That's just complicated international crime stuff that we don't have to look at right now. But like there are these big projects where like the Russian central bank is attempting to issue their own cryptocurrency, mostly to avoid international sanctions. But it's a thing, and some people are excited about it for like reasons, but like there have been like rumblings coming out of both the Fed and the British central bank to say like, hey, we're going to create our own like centralized currency, which more or less entirely goes against the spirit of what like crypto is supposed to be. And but it also like puts that
doesn't work.
I know the spirit doesn't work. The spirit is based on a 5-year-old's conception of like how government should work, and that shit doesn't work because I was about to say libertarianism is a concept for children, and once you actually step out into the real world, you realize that maybe I do need someone to say that my neighbor just can't turn my fences down and push the line back.
Yeah. It's like, no, we don't want structure or rules. And then they find out why we need structure and rules, and they're like, oh.
Yep.
But they won't admit in that moment that's why you need structure and rules.
That's the thing.
But
That's the bit. Right
but Bacon, what about structure and rules and arts? I thought I could just go online and take anyone's picture I wanted. Didn't we say
Fuck you
I can
for
just
that
right click?
segue. Fuck you for that segue.
Didn't we just say I can right click save a picture a while ago?
Yep.
Fuck you for that segue.
I've been trying to wind it up for a while, but you're welcome.
God, I hate you. So we are not talking about NFTs. We're talking about the other right click and save controversy that's hitting all of the internet right now. And not just the internet, because it's pretty big. So, probably heard a little bit about Art AI. Probably have, might have downloaded an app made some cool avatars or like spent a couple bucks to like make cool pictures of yourself or of whatever. Not gonna lie, wouldn't recommend doing that right now, to be honest.
Nothing like selling your facial record.
Uh,
Like that gag of,
I-
hey, I'm so worried about the government having access to facial recognition data on me. I'm gonna upload a high resolution picture of my image to a database.
Listen, we all gave up semblance, like overall privacy to either convenience or entertainment or a combination of the both. That does not mean we need to continue to further give up privacy whenever whenever the opportunity arises. Like, we don't need to like give Amazon our medical information.
For reasons I'm not going to go into much further than saying that it happened. The United States government lost all of my personal credit history, life history, biomedical records, and identifying information to the CCP. So,
Hey, you too? Hey,
yeah,
friends! Hey, high five!
so it doesn't mean I need to like give them updates to all of that information any faster.
Right. So there are a couple companies, there's multiples of them. They're kind of popping up in the same way that crypto companies kind of pop up. One of the big ones is Lion, Laion. Essentially what it is, it's a bunch of like researchers and tech. What they did is they decided to build an AI, but in order to build the AI, they had to create data sets for the AI, because you have to in order to train an AI, you need to feed it material to train it on. So what they did is absolutely legally and with full consent of everybody involved, scrape the entire internet of images, totally like stock photos, stuff off of DeviantArt, random picture of your kid you posted on a blog that you forgot about. The entire internet got scraped for images, and then they fed those images to the AI to train it. And there's a couple of different AIs. The one I'm gonna really like talk about right now is like the art AIs. DALL-E is one of them. You might have seen like some yelling if you have any friends who like were using a DeviantArt or who are anti-Adobe or just trying to save money and use Clip Studio Paint, using an AI that's using Stable Diffusion.
Stable Diffusion, yep.
Sorry, it gets a little confusing because so like there's the data sets, right? And then they use the data sets to create the AIs, but then you can create a custom AI from those data sets. Or like make an AI that's based off of another AI to like suit your purposes more finely. So Stable Diffusion is one of the big ones that's been in the news right now. Again, Stable Diffusion is entirely built off of all of these art AIs is entirely built off of stolen artwork and stolen photos. That is their base data sets. So again, without permission, all of these AIs are like, the basis of this is stolen pictures and artwork, not paid for. They just let stuff loose. This is very important to remember. So again, there's a couple of them. I'm gonna go into the shit with DeviantArt. So DeviantArt had decided to go into the art AI, and DeviantArt had already been making people upset. DeviantArt had already lost a lot of people's goodwill. DeviantArt decided to have an art AI that can be used as a tool, so that artists can like you enter a prompt essentially, and then an AI gives you an image, and this image is it's a very artistic looking image because it's a combination of art pieces. Like it's a combination of art styles, etc. So you can type in like Kermit eating cake and it'll give you like this very artistic looking version of what it thinks of Kermit eating a cake is.
Right.
And this is an AI. It has no creativity. Everything in it is it learned from stolen artwork. So like people's art styles, in some areas you can see it hasn't scrubbed out the copyright symbols. Or like, on Shutterstock how there's a watermark.
Mhm.
There'll be like ghosts of watermarks in some of the pictures. So and again, it was based off of the Stable Diffusion. And so what they had is they automatically made it so that everybody's artwork was automatically opted into this AI without anybody's consent. Which means when they rolled it out, everybody's artwork was already opted into Stable Diffusion's art, into this art AI. So again, the pushback was severe because one, the AI was already built off of their stolen artwork. And so now they're wanting to further train the AI, this AI specifically that DeviantArt is using, off of more artwork without permission. But again, the artwork was already stolen. Very smart on DeviantArt's part. After many people just fully deleted all of their artwork and destroyed their accounts, full accounts that were like decades, because DeviantArt's been around for decades. DeviantArt reversed this and made it to where it is not automatically opted in, but instead it's you yourself can opt in to have your art be put into the AI. And there's some other couple policy changes that they had made as well. But I mean, at that point, the damage is already done.
Yeah. Good summary. I have no notes. Like, because like me and you talked about it a bit earlier in the week. Like, I understand it very much from the artist, because like I've seen like two major arguments about this come up from artists. The one, y'all stole my art part of it is already hella bad. The second part of it is this is just a way for people to further devalue and degrade artists and like try to avoid paying artists to provide like this sort of concept stuff. Like one of these arguments I agree with, one of them I less so agree with, because I'm a filthy pleb with like limited drawing capabilities. So like the idea of being able to like all right, we're gonna come back and visit the ethical part of this at the beginning, because I'm gonna talk about the use case for it and why I think like using it at some point, if the ethical side of it can ever be calmed down on, because like the side of me that's like, this is a cool tool because I want to be able to like describe a concept and show it to someone and then have them make this for me better. And the side of me that's like, but y'all stole all this stuff from people. There are two sides of this that are very hard to square.
Oh yeah, it does not meet copyright at like this. So copyright laws are very intense, and this because it's new technology does fall under like, how does this fare under copyright? There's already been like a court case because there was somebody who was trying to get copyright on the artwork that was done through the AI, but they're like, the AI can't copyright it. like you can't copyright it to an AI. You cannot.
Yeah.
And this was machine made. And you can't do this because like you can't copyright it because it was also machine made. So there's already like a court case. I think it's gonna be in appeals right now. But it got
there's another wild thing about like people trying to AI artists getting mad at other people stealing their prompts that are being used to generate these images. And it's almost like I'm tired. Like
I'm
no,
like, you can't copyright a prompt. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Yeah.
If you want copywritten work, if you want to copyright your work, then you can't do the art AI.
Yeah.
Because again, this AI, the AI is trained off of art and trained to mimic existing art styles. Like it's
because like in using
AIs
Stable
cannot be
Diffusion,
created.
you can tell it, give me an image based off of or like mimicking such and such in the style of so and so, or like in the case of like Chat GPT, write me a song or write me a story in the style of so on and so forth. Like like if you allow it to have its own view or its own voice, it's going to choose what it believes to be the what's the word, believes to be the most appealing image to you, and that's going to be like based on whatever like its training algorithm says, hey, this is what art is, or who we believe art is presently. But like it isn't a like Bacon is saying, it's not a creative force. It's rote imitation. It's trying to blend things but not successfully.
So I'm going to on the cheap art aspect, I've got two examples based off of articles. Thank you. One of the big ones that's happening that's like really been getting viral is Lensa AI. Lensa is a in general, you can make like profile pictures off of it. It's just a digital like little social media digital kind of like photo program. And it launched a photo editing app that as part of its photo editing app, it released like a magic avatars, and it uses like 10 user uploaded images and again Stable Diffusion to generate portraits in a variety of digital art styles. So like for $8, you get 50 unique avatars for $8. There is a level with companies they'll just do a good enough sort of thing. Now, there's several issues with this. Again, you have cheap, like very cheap art that can replace labor. And this art is again based off of stolen techniques and stolen artwork. Second off, there's a massive privacy issues here because everything that gets uploaded goes into the AI. And because also the AI is trained off of the internet, there's been a lot of issues with sexualization between from women and various marginalized identities. So a lot of like Black women found some like they would put it like fully clothed pictures in and it would come out nude. You can very easily with some of these art AIs make porn.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because again,
Well,
it is an AI that is learned, that was
trained
taught
the
from
internet.
scraping the internet. What do we know about the internet and biases?
I learned everything I know about the internet from Avenue Q, and I think that's where I'm gonna leave that one.
Sure.
I've yeah, I realize now
Chucky. Sorry, what were you saying here?
now I'm on Stable Diffusion. Now I'm fucking around.
I couldn't hear you. You're not.
He's on Stable Diffusion, fucking around.
Right. I heard the arguments before. Like, I saw some pictures, and then I saw the wave of arguments from artists. So then I was like, I'm just gonna not do this, because all my artist friends, they all can't be banging all the pots and pans for their health. So I'm gonna pass. So I actually have never even bothered to even inquire. This is like my first actual time wandering around, even exploring the tool. All I know as I realize I'm very militant about it. All I know is that there is always a push against paying you for your skill. That's all I know. If you have a skill, somebody wants to not pay you for it. So anything that makes it easier to not pay someone for their skill, I am for the absolute destruction of it from orbit. Now, if we were better, we could do stuff. We're like shitty kids at recess. Nobody gets to go outside because we're shitty. We go outside and we slam each other around and we break all the windows and we harass all the people in the street. So nobody gets to go on recess. So as a result, no recess. It would be great if we could use these tools reasonably to improve our own lives. I can't draw for shit. It would be great if I could pay to have some type of ethically managed AI to just put a little panache on it. Just season it a little bit. Like, that's all.
I just need a picture so I can like give someone that can actually do art.
Yes.
So like I'm not wasting someone that can actually do art's time.
Also, it is actually a really cool tool for artists, because like inspiration,
like you can conceptualize so quickly.
Inspiration is great when you're in a block. And sometimes you just need that extra visualization, and then you can turn that into something else. But again, these aren't ethically made.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason why Stable Diffusion is going to be the big name that's going around is because we know how Stable Diffusion was put together. The company behind Stable Diffusion has been very transparent about the entire process. The ones responsible for DALL-E 2 has never released proprietary data. We know nothing, but we do know they scraped the entire internet, and we do know it was without consent. And we do know that every fucking thing that got uploaded and every prompt that was put in went further to drain the AI. Also with Lensa, a person put their childhood photos in and received back porn.
Right.
Nudes of their child photos.
Right. So this is where
because it doesn't know. It's an AI.
Yeah.
And another person through another one of these AI apps found their medical records.
Yeah. And sorry, to go back on to like it doesn't know. I can understand in a way where it may be difficult to train like an image generating AI. No, sorry, I'm saying this and like I'm getting the realization of like what I'm about to say. Like the whole point of the image generating AI is to understand the nature of the images that it is consumed, break it down into individual components, and then use that to reconstitute pictures based on recommendation and request from the user. Now, saying that it doesn't know what it puts together means that it cannot analyze an image that is looking at.
No, it cannot.
No, but it should be technically speaking, it should be able to. Because like, all right, I'm gonna go to a different example. I'm gonna go to a different example because like ChatGPT can like look at the question you're asking it, look at the response it's about to generate, and say, I can't tell you that. I'm not meant to like provide X, Y, and Z information. Now, people will say like, oh, I tricked it to do these different things. No, you essentially forced it into a logical hole where that's the only answer.
So it gets a little bit more tricky because again, it's art. They're images, and it was trained off of images. And
Right,
on top
but,
of being
like,
trained off of
that's like
images,
saying
they have to go in and in order to adjust it, they have to manually go in and adjust it. Which, funny enough, they did some stuff where I think oh shit, hold on. I have to look up. It was really fucking funny. People were so angry. Um
but saying that it couldn't recognize that, hey, there's nudity in something in this picture, and maybe I shouldn't return it. It is like, as someone that dabbles on the spicier side of Discord. Discord can tell your pictures when you're uploading them of what the content is. Like, I don't know like what their automated moderation system is, but they have them. And saying that they can't implement something like that
oh no, no, no.
into
I'm
like
not
Stable
saying they
Diffusion,
can't I'm not saying they can't implement it. That is not what I said.
they say it's not. But like you're saying, like it, like at
I
least like
said
when
it
you're framing
as
it, it's
it
not like
is, it currently doesn't, it
it
currently
can't.
didn't know. They actually had to go in and adjust it so that it could not mimic certain styles and it would um do much less not safe for work content, and people were angry.
Hey, buddy, feed me a little less porn.
Literally had to go in there because they had to go in there and like manually like go through and add stuff to the images and like add things in, and because for each image there's like words.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's how it like when like an AI breaks down an image like that, it associates words and descriptors with it. So like
Yes.
it's not like it just scrapes the image. It pulls the metadata, um it pulls the descriptions and the text in the body around it to get an idea of like what the picture is and then associate it with other
Yeah.
things.
So they
And
went they did a little more fine tuning on the metadata.
also,
But the
that's why,
thing
like, I
is,
have side eye the accessibility. Like, I understand the accessibility stuff that, like, you're actually helping people without vision be able to appreciate and enjoy the internet. You're also helping to train the AIs.
this wouldn't be a problem if it was with consent. However,
But go ahead.
some people also try to get around the metadata and be like, here's a very explicit image without very explicit metadata. It's how you spread around child porn. Again, the entire internet and all of its biases and all of the good stuff and all the bad went into making these. I just made a point you didn't want to think about.
Yeah, yeah. God, I had a point. Yeah, here we go. So, and like all the good and all the bad, because I guess like a point of this that like I kind of keep coming around on, and I was kind of saying it half in jest when we were talking about it before, but it's the whole idea that it's kind of the worst reversal of what we were expressing in the discussion of NFTs, where it makes no sense to try to attempt to associate value with like these images on the internet, because like if you tokenize it and try to like say, well, this is mine, it's the only one that's like it, well, what's to stop me from saving it and making like umpteen million copies of the file? And I kind of said like the AI like art development teams looked at that discussion and said, bet, let's see how far we can take this and run with it. And like it's pushing the free and open concept of the internet out to the breaking point. And like it's that like it's out there in public for everyone's consumption, but you're not supposed to take it and repurpose it for something like this. But that this may be my ignorance, that feels more like a suggestion of of the internet and not a law. And no, it's not ethical. Yeah, people should like have the right to say, please don't train AI on my work.
I mean, but by the time you say don't train don't train your AI on my work, it's already trained, which is part
Yeah,
of the issue.
yeah.
And
It's giving the genies out of the bottle, and like we can reinforce the ideas going forward, but I'm very pessimistic about like ever getting uh a reasonable solution to this.
it's gonna be ugly. One of the biggest professional art portfolio websites, ArtStation, there's currently a protest on it because, and when I mean and I mean professional, I mean people who make video games post their portfolios there. Like people who work with like movies, who do like the really big design work and character design work. Like there is an expectation to post your portfolio on ArtStation. It is a
Mhm.
professional website, and they've been allowing a art AI, which
Is
has
it they've been allowing RDI to train, or they've been allowing RDI to post?
yes.
Oh. No.
And they were gonna do their own art AI as an assisted tool and allow those images to be on there.
So this is admittedly something I did not look into before I started messing around with, but as a slave to Adobe for photography purposes, they've started incorporating AI tools into their photo editing suite. Now it's not anything like AI image generation or anything like that. It's AI identification. So to like speed up masking. So it does like AI subject detection and AI in like now even more granular where it can like identify hair in your pictures and teeth and eyes. So like the time that you would normally take to go in and mask this stuff in by hand, now you say, all right, AI, go through and identify these points for me, and then I'll set the
Guess
adjustment.
where else that technology is?
Where?
It's in cell phone picture taking apps.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that.
Brighten your teeth. Change the shape of your face. But in the right spots.
Give me the 2022 Korean special.
Listen, some of them Korean apps. Buddy, I'm like, I don't think anybody in the world is this white.
Now we got to get that milky white skin.
We have to make
seen,
you look like a pure ghost, like you're not actually real.
we want you to look like a gray alien with the white balance cranked all the way to the left.
Bruh. But yeah, so as part of the ArtStation, of course, like professionals are on ArtStation. They did a protest and were removing their portfolios and uploading the same image over and over, which is a giant A with a red circle slashing through it that says no AI generated images. You know why? Because it's a fucking professional website. And there is a huge there's been threads up and down about it, what it means in like a work setting. There are always people who are going to try and pay for cheap over quality. Always. This is why we have Fiverr. This is why we have whatever the fuck. There's another one that other people use. And every time I don't even have to look at like, they don't have to give me a receipt or tell me where it's from. And I automatically know the company who did it. It's so bad because they make the same consistent mistakes all over.
Is it Freelancer?
Freelancer is definitely one of them.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what it is because the other one FedEx uses. I cannot remember for the life of me. But yeah, all those fast edit websites, like people, I mean, they exist for a reason. They're also shit. But they're cheap, and so people don't mind paying for bad quality because it's cheap. Who cares? I just got a logo redesigned for $5 when really that's like $150. It doesn't look great, but it was $5 and it does what I need. I don't care if it looks good. Like that whole thing exists. Translation, like professional translators, like the whole translating industry has been royally fucked by AI.
I have been reading a manhwa that has switched over to AI translation. It's mostly switched over to AI translation because no one else is working on it. And I have not been sadder. Could you
The
at least proofread it before you put it in there, homie?
Well, and so what they do for translators, what they'll do is they'll run the translation through an AI, and then they'll give it to translators, and they want the translators to fix it. And it takes more time than if the translator had just translated it, and they're getting paid less. So this is the state of translation. Like translation, like we're already here with translators. With in the professional way, like yes, it is a great creative tool, but in no sort of way is it actually a good production tool. Like we're not ever going to be in a spot where like we're gonna have AI generated like environments for games, because that would be terrible. I think there's already one that has an AI generated environment and it doesn't work.
Think of how far off the rails games that already had procedurally generated backgrounds and planets and stuff like that were, and how much tuning has to be done after the fact to make sure it's just not murder world after murder world after murder world.
Also, like the physical nature of it, like to make it actually work with the rest of the game at all, like on a functional level, takes just as much work as if you had just done it from scratch. Like there's definitely places where like it can be nice in an assisted way, but on a professional in production environment level, it's just not useful. Again, useful for like creativity and like prompts and stuff like that. But like when we're talking about like actual production work, like the nitty gritty, like the gross part of production work, it's not useful there.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's probably not gonna be for like 50 years. If ever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I feel like it's all bad.
It's
It's
all
all in a bad
bad.
place right now.
Also,
Yeah.
please stop
Like-
uploading your personal pictures.
Yeah.
So we're okay to nuke it from orbit, because I realize the discussion is whether we should be destroying this from orbit or not. And we are a very positive person, Jared. But
I'm
so
got the coordinates locked
anti-AI.
into the T-Lambs launcher. I will pull some strings and see if I can get that Tomahawk strike on the way.
yeah, you go.
And
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it's
Dark
unfortunate.
30. Your response.
Yeah, if we were better, things would be better, but we're not. So things suck. That's why we hate it here. Specifically, that sentence is why we hate it here, because it could be better. Because you see it. That's what the whole conversation was. Jared saw it. That's not the way it is. So
Yeah, like I was going to make I was gonna try and make another cheeky segue, but this story is just so gross, and there's like even more darkness behind it. Bacon, what's going on in Texas?
Fuck, I forgot about Texas. Okay, so this is completely not on the rails, but I feel it's like really necessary to bring it up because of how many people it affects. And also I need to remind, this is also goes to a reminder of, don't fucking start trying to be like, let's get rid of this whole state. We don't need this whole state because fucking people live there.
yeah.
The Attorney General of Texas tried to collect a list of people who had changed their gender on their state driver's license from the Texas Department of Public Safety. And it's actually worse than that. It's not just licenses. It's any identification. Like any identification, anything where like the ID didn't match like the title, like the gender didn't match like on like house or car information or any of that. Anything where that went through the Department of Licensing where there was a note of a gender change.
Well,
He was
unfortunately, it's even broader
added in
than
the
that.
list.
It's anything where a name was changed.
And the name was
Any,
changed, which also
it's
is
not
illegal.
even. It's not and or if your name has been changed and
Yes.
and or your gender have been changed. Like any, like basically he asked for the change log from
Yes.
the Texas Department of Safety, and the like one. It's the administration of Governor Abbott, and I forgot what his AG's name is, but is it Ken Paxton? Yeah, Ken
Yes.
Paxton. That
Yes.
man that
Attorney
is
General
still
Ken Paxton.
yeah, that motherfucker that is still at trial for various other reasons. Ignore the embezzlement, as with all good things. They are silent about the why. And it's not like the communities that have been targeted and made and victimized by wave after wave of anti-LGBTQIA plus legislation inside of Texas are confused at all about like what's going on, but it's the fact that they're silent.
Yeah, this man literally tried to make a register. And in the whole like boycott Texas, etc., like don't do anything. Again, there are people who live there, who are trapped there, who cannot leave and don't have the finances, and who are now and there are more people who are very, very scared. Like just on the gender alone, just on the gender change alone, it's because again, it's gender and or name. The gender change alone pulled over 16,000 logs. That's 600,000 people who are being targeted by the Attorney General and by the government of Texas.
Yeah.
Who live there.
When did this happen?
Literally the other day. Well, when it released, I think it happened way earlier.
Yeah, the articles on it are dated back on the 14th. And even as like late as today, the AG's office has been silent about like, hey, like the AP, it's not like just random people have been asking, like the AP, the Washington Post have been in contact with the Attorney General's office. They're like, oh, we're closed for the holidays. We'll get you an answer in the new year. And no.
There's been freedom and there's been information requests, and they're just trying to like avoid it.
You know, you're gonna stonewall this until the new year comes, and
it's all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. They're definitely like, if you live in Texas, I would check out resources, local and not local to you, because anxiety is a whole thing, and having an idea or just talking to somebody makes things help.
Yeah, like there's this idea of like what it means to feel and live like a free person inside, like to feel at home in your state, and the mass data collection and identification of like these affected peoples is definitely like one of the largest affronts to like the assumed right to privacy that everyone experiences. And under the current administration of the Supreme Court, I don't think there's any real direct route for satisfaction in a reasonable sense here.
No, because our current Supreme Court is very anti-trans at the moment. Although there might be
very
some
anti-trans, and the rights of the state are very likely to be embraced.
But there might be some good news on the medical front, though. I need to look more into that. It looks like that any healthcare provider that gets federal funding has to follow that specific whatever that says what is required to be covered under healthcare. And all of the trans stuff is on there. Can't remember what the fuck it's called off the top of my head right now because my brain just stopped working because I'm in a CFS brain fog. You.
I'm trying to. All my brain stopped working about healthcare stuff after Obamacare. After Obamacare health. Court
God, I
files.
wish that was the case over here.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I could be helpful. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I think I know where I can find it. Meow, 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 meow. The Standards of Care version 8.
Oh.
The WPATH Standards of Care. Hold on. Let me go look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's court rules that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois cannot administer health plans with gender affirming care exclusions. Third-party administrators that accept federal funds cannot discriminate when administering employer-sponsored health plans, is what it is. And that means every major provider takes federal funds.
And not to try to be Debbie Downer on this, like, but wasn't there the whole Hobby Lobby decision that basically said that, like, well, we don't have to pay for medical procedures that we find violate our religious whatever?
Yes, but they can change healthcare plans. This is
okay.
Federally funded healthcare plans. So if the healthcare, it gets money from the federal government. That's the key part, if that makes sense.
It does.
I think so. Yeah. No, I guess I was getting wrapped around, like, because you said that all major medical providers receive money from the federal government, but the company can change its medical provider, but no medical provider doesn't take money from the government.
It's a nice little loophole.
I guess, like, yeah, no, yeah, that's the double end around. Go fuck yourself right there. So.
That's the double. Yeah, this was December 19th. The federal judge today ruled that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois cannot exclude coverage for medically necessary gender-affirming care in its administration of employee-provided ERISA health plans. This follows the district court's November 9th, 2022 order certifying a class compromise of individuals who are or will be denied pre-authorization coverage for gender-affirming care. Because they were trying to stop a person from getting care.
I hate to look into my shitty crystal ball, but that's when Texas is gonna say, well, we're just going to say that you need a special license in order to perform these gender affirming care procedures, and we're not gonna let anyone in the state get the super special license, and we're gonna put them out of business using the same strategy that they did to close down.
They're gonna try to find something, or they just might make their own state healthcare that doesn't take federal money and let employers opt into that one.
We're gonna offer you Ranger care in the state of Texas because we don't need that federal money.
Actually,
and then they could
yeah. Branded. Yeah, branded Texas bigger.
You see it.
Texas is the most excellently branded place I've ever heard of and been in my life. Branded bigot Texas.
Do you
healthcare.
not need? Yep. Yeah. No, it's gonna be. Do you not need the federal government telling you what to do with your body? Well, what we're going to provide for you is Ranger Care. It's going to give you the same feeling of driving down the road in your F-150.
Fucking hate you.
It's true.
That's why you asked me to be here.
I mean, it's so
Oh my god, he
it's so
pulled out the
true.
e-girl voice.
We have like there have been like advertisements like that for like aluminum foil and sandwich bags. So like I
HEB, Bucky's.
yeah, it's just like someone talking like that, and it's like for the feeling of home, and it's just some lady bagging up sandwiches, and I'm like, why is the Marlboro man here? Like, don't you have anything else to do than to
No, they said I didn't sell cigarettes to children anymore, so I gotta do.
We gotta sell sandwich bags in aluminum foil. Touche, Jared. Touche.
Speaking of poor branding,
reach out. Also,
Twitter.
yeah, reach out to your friends who live in Texas. They might need an ear right now. Like, check in on them. They might not even tell you, but like, just be kind. Be kind. Try to be
I
understanding.
know people
even-
from Texas don't make it easy to be kind to them. But
there are delightful people in Texas, like Aaron, and I know a number of trans people in Texas who are
Yes.
very scared right now,
Right.
and my whole heart goes out to them.
Yeah.
Texas and Florida right now, it's hard being trans right there.
Right. That's my understanding of being in Texas. So
yeah,
people live here.
it's just hard.
So
Just hard in the country. Those states don't make it any easier.
No, I'm really hoping that in the next 2 years we get some shit gone through in the next election. I'm already over the next election cycle and it's barely started.
We have to go through a Republican primary.
Yes, we do. Well, technically we went through the Republican primary. Now we're going through the big primary. Because midterms is usually the ones that Republicans win and take over.
Yeah.
'Cause
Luckily,
we show up.
no, I was talking about like the Republican presidential primary that's gonna kick off in.
Oh, sorry, I was
about
I
6
was
weeks.
blacking that out.
that is now.
Okay,
that
the one thing I'm excited about for that is watching DeSantis go against Trump.
What? So you can watch a man gargle another man's balls on national television?
One of them's going down.
There are now. On one hand, that is going to be a fantastic plane wreck. On the other hand, that is also 25 minutes of conversation.
I will not be watching any of it.
I feel
I
like,
will happily bite the bullet for us.
Right. I think it's.
Excuse me, happily isn't a stretch.
I will see that. I mean, I'm heavily relying on the party to pull itself apart over this shit. So I'm there for it. It's critical in our democracy going forward that the party kind of pull itself apart. So I'll be there watching, hoping that the worst happens.
Can we have drinking parties or like not drinking parties because I can't drink very much, but can we have like can we just like get a pile of sweets and savories?
Chocolate wasted.
Well,
Yeah, choco wasted.
I mean, why don't we can have a drinking party, but like percentages. So instead of having a drinking party, you have like, say, we'll have maybe like criteria.
Pop-Tarts?
No, Pop-Tarts. We'll just have
Pop-Tart right now so bad.
same, just barriers. So like, you have one drink, and then like 8 non-alcoholic drinks. So by the time you get to the next drink, this would be around the time when you would have regretted playing a traditional drinking game.
Oh no. So for me, how it would have to work, because you don't understand, my sensitivity to alcohol definitely increased with the CFS and chronic pain, and because I found out that chronic fatigue syndrome, which I have, it's awful. Don't recommend. please get vaccinated and wear a mask and try your best to not get COVID. Cannot recommend, and mine's not even COVID related. Please don't get this. You don't want it. Can't do anything. But it increases sensitivities to stuff. So like my sudden increase to sensitivity to certain foods or medications. Like I remember how every medication I was taking, I was having an allergic reaction to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Huh.
Jeez.
My body was just freaking out. It's not like I'm allergic to it. It's just my immune system doesn't know what the fuck is going on. I mean, neither do I, but it really doesn't know. And the doctors don't know because they don't know what CFS is. But so for me, I need like one sip and then like four one sip of the alcoholic drink and like 5 sips of the non-alcoholic drink and like a pastry.
That's fine. The drinking game would be a sip. It would be
so for like I think I need like one of those the measuring the liquid measuring drip things.
I like to think we'll just give you a dropper and it'll just be
like, dropper, thank you.
It'll be like a kegger, except we'll just put a little drop on your tongue and be like, wow!
Just like drop. And I'm like I'm like a quarter of the way into my cider. I'm real tipsy, y'all.
Oh wow. I mean, that's a really cheap drink. We're more likely to do a drinking game now that you literally require a thimble of alcohol to get sloshed. Like that is economical as fuck.
Look,
I am
cheap drunk is better for drinking games.
I am the cheapest date that could possibly happen right now.
Listen, I understand chronic fatigue syndrome sucks, but it is easy on the wallet. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Woo!
Hey! Considering how much money I just spent on whiskey, I would really appreciate not being a heavy alcoholic.
Yeah.
When my best friend's family came up to visit, and his sister's just like, "You want another drink?" And I'm like, halfway through mine, and I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Are you sure? Do you not like your drink?" And I'm like, "No, the drink is great. I'm the problem. It me. It not you. It not the drink. It me." Please get your vaccines. Please, for the love of God, get vaccinated.
I need to go get my second round. How I don't. It's been so long. I don't know. How
Omicron booster.
Jabs.
Are you on the new booster?
I got my last booster in April.
Then you're on the new booster.
I'm on the new shit.
Yeah, you're on the new shit then. I'm getting mine on the 23rd because apparently like they're all free up around Christmas, and I'm like, bitch, get me.
No, my job that I can't talk about has me traveling a lot and being in confined spaces with hundreds of people for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
And the number of people at my job that are happily just talking to me without a mask on, breathing their air on my face like, yeah, no, I don't believe in getting these vaccines. Why the fuck are you still here?
Why are you breathing in my face? Anyway, on that note, we should wrap this show up and then continue our jibber jabber after.
We have to wrap.
I wanted to say an old person phrase.
Jibber jabber is more. Well, jibber jabber is more Mr. T, so you might want to.
Mr. T's old now.
I know, but it's more Mr. T than old. Like it's not like we have to find like a specific old person phrase.
No. I want like
jibber jabber is like a 50-year-old phrase at this point.
Yeah,
right, but it's specific to him. We got to find a general one. Like we were like, who says that anymore? Because now the question is, who says that? Well, Mr. T says that, and then you go, oh, we want everyone else.
No, the kids don't know who Mr. T is.
Right, but we do. It's got to be
right. No. It's for the kids, Aaron. It's not for us.
How about ripping and running?
That's
space. It's for the kids.
That's how old. That's how we look the olds. We say stuff that was funny in reference to us and we get it, and the youth just look at us like we've got tentacles on our heads.
Can I do that cut it out thing that Joe used to do on Full House? Please, if
Yeah.
I get to claim an old person thing, can I please claim that one for myself?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, you can.
That's all. He was so corny. He was corny when the show was out and hot as hell. Good God. 25 years ago, he was corny. Perfect.
So corny.
All right, guys. We have a Patreon. Patreon.com/UN Fridays. We have a Twitter account.
For now.
I mean, we're not going to say anything about Elon Musk. I mean, the only way you can get suspended is by saying something about Elon Musk, so we're fine. I have nothing particularly to say.
We just entirely dodged that section this week.
Right, but we might get in trouble for linking to something.
I thought he pulled that back when all the lawyers looked at him.
I mean, he is also a literal narcissist.
Yes, but the lawyers seem to be making him at least move away
What
like a
lawyers?
cat.
He lost his legal team. It wasn't his legal team.
It's not his lawyers. It's the concept of lawyers. The idea that he will get sued because he has an illegal team, so he can't do this. And
You
The
know what
idea
I
that
think
an
it,
entire
you know what I
continent
think it
will black out
was?
his app.
right.
I think it was like the person who has the third highest shares at Tesla going, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Step down."
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was funny shit.
All of these reasons, though, we're still on Twitter. So it's UN Fridays, United Nation Fridays, UN Fridays, however you want to remember it. While we're here, we're gonna post links. I mean, we're not. I only post a link to a website. We can post a link to a website, right? And like the general podcast aggregator we use, like we don't link to anything else but the podcast aggregator at this point.
Yeah, you can post to like not like any of you're supposed to not use any of like the big aggregators like Hard and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't. We can't link all of
Linktree.
our stuff and like link to our OnlyFans and stuff like that. But we can link to like the podcast aggregator so you can get the thing on your machine. We're still safe.
I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
it's all
It
up
just
in the
scares
wall.
about competitors.
It's all up in the air right now, but it doesn't matter. We're doing it anyway.
I mean,
I'm not
Yeah.
changing shit.
I don't care. Like I said, he says things and then things happen until they don't. And
Yeah.
that's where Twitter is.
What happens is what happens. I don't care. In the meantime, we're gonna figure something out like the rest of us.
Right.
Let's just keep watching this man set $44 billion on fire.
Bruh, he's bleeding cash. He's bleeding stock so bad it's actually affecting real money. There's like this level of stocks where I think like stocks are just fake money. It's like toy money.
Sort of. Like, okay, before I go into like a whole discussion between value and speculative assets, let's go on and call this a night.
Yes, my golf. I did
Thank
it.
you. Thank you guys for listening. You guys all have a
Thanks,
blessed
everybody.
day. Jesus Christ.
Go ahead, stand up.